Hello and welcome to the Radisson Blue Edwardian in Bloomsbury Street, London, the official hotel of London Collections Men. My name is Robert Johnston, I am the Associate Editor of GQ, and to celebrate the relationship between London Collections Men and the Bloomsbury Hotel, we have invited three of the most influential men in British menswear: Dean Gomilsack-Cole of Turnbull and Asser, Gordon Richardson of Topman, one of our most successful young designers, Jonathan Saunders. And today we're going to have a quick discussion on what makes menswear in London so special and why so different from womenswear.
With womenswear, you start, when you're doing looks for a show, for example, you start with all the dresses and you get it all out of the way first because that's the look done, and you kind of you frame everything around that, and it's approximately half the collection. Whereas menswear, every single look is about the combination. It's about, and each garment in itself can't have too much information because it has to be worn alongside other things.
You're saying womenswear is simpler then?
I think it is, because when I started men's,
you brave boys.
when I started men's, I thought, this is bloody easy, isn't it? And then just got harder and harder. The more informed I became, I realised that actually it's more of a challenge in many ways.
The difference in men's and women's wear, I think, is it's slowly eroding. The gap is definitely diminishing. The way London Collection Men has been received, and how over a very short period of time it is now escalated to be a very important event, and so many brands and designers have come on board to sort of celebrate it and to be part of it, can only mean it can grow and get bigger.
When you think about your relationships you have with stores, and their percentage of growth in menswear is far higher than women's. So the starting point is lower, but that's the feedback I'm getting from the stores, that
They're actually catching up.
That their growth is huge. There's also quite a lot of crossing over of men's and women's, where I'm finding women buying my men's and men's buying some of the women's knitwear, and it's very interesting to see it.
We have a lot of that.
Yeah.
A lot of women buy Topman.
With you from Turnbull and Asser, one of the most famous names in men's tailoring, do you find that London is helping you, as a traditional side, become more modern? Is that an important part of the business?
Definitely. There is a renaissance in terms of menswear in general and in London. And with a brand like Turnbull and Asser, it's always had London as its kind of core, and we've had a few heydays. And I think in the 60s, it was a really interesting time for the brand, because that was a time when men were the peacocks again.
I think probably men always have been, but where did you go 15, 20 years ago to sort of really buy clothes? There was a few selected brands you might buy from if you had the cash to buy them.
Yeah.
The high street really hadn't caught up, so fashion was less accessible. Magazines like yours, the internet and everything has opened up this huge demand and actual knowledge of fashion.
It's knowledge.
These kids know what they want.
The younger consumers are looking for more of the classic
Classic stuff
that they understand the history behind. And it's actually the more established consumers in their 50s and later that are becoming a little bit bolder.
If you look at yourself, Gordon, you're dressed actually rather conservatively today. But
I normally dress in.
No. But you certainly you enjoy clothes, and you.
Yes, I love.
And I've seen you play with trends.
Yeah.
But it works the other way, because there you are.
You're 35.
You're wearing kind of what might once upon a time have felt like a very conservative way to have dressed, but you've given it a far more youthful twist with clashing patterns, etc., etc. So again, I think that's interesting about the raised middle youth means no one.
Yeah, and I just look boring.
You look fabulous. Well, anyway, I'd like to thank all three of you for coming along today, and I thought that was fascinating. I always love talking to you all. And,
Thank you.
Let's do it again soon.
Yep.
And thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool.
I haven't succumbed to the onesie.
Very Winston
Although,
Churchill.
the siren suit, I
bet you've got one.
I would
And a pair of sheepskin slippers.
I have got sheepskin
Yeah, there you go.
slippers.